Hi everyone, this is Mohan from paultan.org and we are here today with a Superbike shootout. Over on my left, the Yamaha R1M, on my right, the Kawasaki ZX10R, and in the middle, the Honda CBR1000RR SP. What you'll be most concerned with, of course, dear reader, is pricing. Now, sad to say, Yamaha is not bringing in the R1M officially into Malaysia, so we don't have a price for it, but we would hazard a guess at around the 140,000 mark. For the Honda CBR1000RR SP, it retails at 115,000 ringgit. The big surprise of the bunch is the Kawasaki ZX10R, which goes for 140,000 ringgit. This makes the BMW S1000RR at 109,000 ringgit look like a positive bargain. Why we have these three bikes here with us today, aside from the fact of course that they're superbikes, is they're all 1000cc machines with 4 cylinders and they all come with electronic suspension. As you can see, each of the three bikes has a distinctive design language all its own. For the ZX10R, you get halogen lights in front in 2 separate beams and a central air intake. The CBR SP comes with LED lighting in front but omits the central air intake. However, the styling is very reminiscent of the RC213VS that we tested a couple of years ago. As for the R1M, it comes with a very nicely designed, centrally located air intake between 2 LED projector headlights set in the carbon fiber fairing. For the CBR SP, front suspension is by Öhlins. In this case, titanium night-rided Smart EC forks in 43mm diameter, while braking is done by Brembo with M432 monoblocks. Moving on to the ZX10R, we have Showa BPF or big piston front forks. In this case, electronically controllable for compression damping, while braking is done by Brembo M50 monoblocks. Lastly, for the R1M, again we have Smart EC electronically controlled Öhlins front forks, while braking is done with in-house Edwix calipers. All three superbikes come with radial master calipers. For the ZX10R, the radial master caliper is by Brembo. Front suspension on the R1M is fully electronic and active, while on the CBR SP, it's semi-active, and for the ZX10R, electronically controlled for compression and rebound. Öhlins TTX36 Smart EC electronic rear suspension is used for the SP and the R1M, while the ZX10R uses Showa BFRC electronic rear suspension. In terms of wheels, the R1M is rather special as it comes with magnesium wheels, while the SP and the ZX10R come with aluminium alloys. In terms of physical dimensions, the R1M has an 861mm seat height, while fuel is carried in a 17-litre tank and weight is claimed to be 210 kg. For the CBR SP, seat height is 834mm, fuel is carried in a 19-litre tank, and wet weight is claimed to be 198 kg. For the ZX10R, seat height is 835mm, fuel is carried in a 17-litre tank, and wet weight is claimed to be 208 kg. Now, superbikes being what they are, it's all about the performance. So let's go and see what these bikes are capable of. The thing about superbikes is, it's a game of numbers and it's a game of horsepower. For the CBR SP, it puts out 189 horsepower on paper and 114 Newton meters of torque. For the R1M, Yamaha claims 200 horses and 113 Newton meters of torque, while the Ninja comes in at the same with 200 horsepower again and 113 Newton meters of torque. In terms of handling, all three bikes are equally as sharp, they're equally as focused, and they're all equally as fast. However, the Ninja's weight does count against it somewhat, especially when you're doing quick corner transitions, while the R1M with its electronic suspension is very focused on being a racetrack weapon. Coming to the CBR SP, the bike is physically small, it's short, and we liked it for the fact that it was easy to get on and go fast. In the braking stakes, with twin 4-port calipers in front, there was really nothing to choose between all three bikes. They all stopped on a dime and the ABS works exactly as advertised. There was no drama, there was no fuss in braking. Inside the cockpit of the CBR SP and the R1M, you find a TFT LCD screen which gives you access to things like suspension settings, wheelie control, launch control, traction control, ABS level, engine braking. It's so confusing, you need a teenager to make sense of the whole thing. Things in the ZX10R are a little bit more basic. You get a monochrome LCD screen with a bar graph tachometer above it, but this is perfectly adequate for what the bike needs you to do. As we mentioned earlier, the bikes will give you control over your suspension settings, your ride modes, your power delivery, literally everything you can think of. Now, this means that the rider of any of these bikes will have to be very careful about setups. As for steering dampers, which is a necessity for track weapons like these, this Kawasaki ZX10R puts its steering damper on display and Olin's electronically controlled unit. As for the other two, the CBR SP has a KYB damper which it hides under the tank, while the R1M hides its steering damper under the triple yoke. In terms of the rider triangle, the relationship between the handlebar, the seat and the foot pegs, again, all three bikes are very track focused. The ZX10R slightly more track focused than most. Now this isn't surprising because the ZX10R was really set up for Jonathan Rea. In the R1M saddle, you are very well aware that the bike is long. Now while this doesn't affect the bike's handling manners, there is a lot of mass both in front and behind the rider. The CBR SP is perhaps the easiest bike to get on and go fast. The rider in the saddle feels immediately comfortable. For me personally, my choice would be the CBR1000RR SP. The price, the electronic suspension, the Brembo brakes and the lightweight does make it a value for money choice. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Leave a comment with your thoughts and opinions below. Read the full review on paultan.org bikes. Thank you for watching. See you soon.